Right, this is Linton the Swarm Vassal, Bellator light heavyweight contender, and you're watching the MMA Crypt Fighting Talk Show.
Gregory Stone, MMA.com. On today's show, we speak with Paul, the Titan Taylor. Paul is set to take on Mark Hand of Godbeer this coming Saturday for the BAMMA heavyweight title. With that, I'd like to welcome you to the show, Paul, the Titan Taylor. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Hi, mate. Thanks for having me on.
It's our pleasure, Paul. So, Paul, I want to start out today's show with asking you the reasons why you went out to AK. Obviously, they've just made you a full member of that team there, that's quite a compliment there. But I want to know what prompted you to go out to there. You left about 3 weeks ago. You spent 2 weeks out in San Jose with AKA. But what prompted the move for you to go and train at AKA for your bout with Mark Godbeer?
Yeah, basically, I'd wanted to train at AKA for some time. I've tried for about 2 years to get over there. And what happened is the club that I was at, ASW, was refurbing the gym. And so I didn't really have, a gym to train at. So out of pure desperation, I think it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, I've messaged an American manager called Pat Wilson. I said, look, I've heard that you've got fighters at AKA. Would you be able to have a word with them for me? I'm really at a loose end here where I can train. My gym's closed and for a bit, and I've got the biggest fight of my life coming up. I need somewhere to train. So anyway, Pat Wilson, good as gold, got right on it for me. And next thing you know, he's asked them, and at first I said no, and then I think Coach Melendez went away and looked me up, and he said, "Is he a heavyweight?" And yeah, he said, "Okay then, he looks good. We'll get him over here." So it was, how quick could I get over there? Which was brilliant. So getting my foot in the door took me a good couple of years because I've been messaging them for some time. But I think it was just brilliant timing, because with Kane's fight and that. They sort of welcomed me in as a sparring partner for him, so it was just brilliant timing and just a bit of luck really, and also Pat Wilson obviously doing the legwork for me there, making initial contact. It was brilliant. So it was just a bit of luck and timing that it actually happened.
Well, you talk about trying for a couple of years now, but they've actually made you a member of the team. They was very impressed with your short stint there. What, about 2-3 weeks, you've impressed them enough to be part of the team? They actually approached you to be part of the team. Could you tell us about that there, Paul? That must have been quite a bit of a shocker. Or was it a shocker for you? Did you feel like you fit in with the team?
Well, it was because, I virtually lost every round we came. Well, I did, not virtually. I lost every round, and but I made a good account of myself, you know what I mean? I sort of, I think what they lost was the fact that I was ready to stand and trade and hit and really just standing in the pocket with him and not really be intimidated by who, I was really trying to genuinely help him, trying to push him and come forward, and it was a difficult challenge. It was the hardest thing. One of the hard, I had to really dig deep. He was number one in the world for a reason, and nobody's even come close to beating him except for that strike punch that happened with the Santos. No heavyweights even come close. So you can imagine what sparring him's like when he's even more relaxed in the gym, and it's pretty full on. It is really full on work. So but yeah, basically I showed my grit. So I went there and done the best I could. I was doing a couple of rounds with him, a spar. Which is like, people was asking what it's like. Yeah. And it is literally like doing a 6-round Shark Tank each round with different people, sparring 1 round of Kane. Honestly, the guy has got a pace that you cannot believe. You just can't, you think, I've seen him wrestle and spar with, Olympic wrestlers and things like that, and you think, surely now, when I got in there, bearing in mind, he was halfway through his Shark Tanks, and he had the energy of a fresh fighter like myself going in, and I still couldn't tire him. But I can tire most people. He's just a freak. He's just a freak. But anyway, because of that, you know, I asked my coach, you know, what would be the chances of me getting a place over there. We spoke about it at the start, and he just sort of said, you know, we'll see how it goes. And then at the end, he actually said to me, he said in front of the whole class in their team talk that Paul's come here, he's showing that he's one of us, basically, you know, that he gets stuck in, and he welcomed me to the team. So, you know, it's hard to get in there, get your foot in. But he says, you're in, Paul, you know, you've impressed us enough to, you've shown us that you want it, and your abilities are good. I mean, so it was a big moment, really, and, you know, it was brilliant, unreal.
So what changes now that you're a full member of the team there, Paul? You know, will you be hands-on so they can contact you if they need you to prepare maybe a DC? They need you as a sparring partner for DC. Yeah. Will you be on call and fly out there? Is that part of being a member of the team now?
Right, I will be. You know, obviously when these fights are over, I'll be contacting the coach Menendez again, and I'll be, you know, if somebody's got a fight, I will be a teammate, just like over here, and I'll get over there and I'll spar up to the fights, or, you know. But I did say to him, you know, that look, I've got a family, I've got children, and you know, he knows exactly beforehand what I can commit to. Which was 6 weeks before each fight. Yeah. And he said, look, you know, basically, if I keep myself active in the gym, and I don't go there, obviously, you know, my first day with them is going to be, you know, the 6 weeks. As long as I get a few weeks in before I go over and I'm not sure I'm fit, then them 6 weeks are going to be so productive to a fight. You know, that it's going to be worth. It's definitely going to be a game changer if I can commit to that. So that. You know, so whatever they want me to do, you know, I mean, I'm happy to go over at any time they need me, or, you know, just as a part of the team. That's it, you know, and it's legit. It's going to be, I'm going to be a part of, you know, the best team in the world, which is unbelievable, to be honest. It's, you know, so I'm keen. Basically, I'll go over whenever they need me or whenever I've got a fight.
So do you feel part of the team now, Paul? Do you feel like you built some bonds, some close relationships, some friendships there?
I'll tell you, in that little short space of time I was there, nearly 3 weeks, the way they made me feel, how welcome they made me, and, you know, just, it's all, like, I don't want to keep banging on about it, because, meaning, like, the team thing and stuff, because people here, you know, who have been teaching me for the last 2 or 3 years, you know, they might think that I'm trying to kick them in the teeth and say that what they do don't work, but it does work, but this works on another level. These operate at a different level, trust me. It's, you know, they eat together, they spar together, their spar days are insane, they're intense, you know, and they're all in there cheering each other on, you know what I mean? It's all focuses on the fight. There's no egos, there's no, you know, like Kane, let's give him special treatment, like, you know, and it does happen over here, I'm sorry, you know, I'm not having a go at any gyms there, I'm just saying that it does happen where, well, he's in the UFC, so he gets this, or, nah, listen, Kane was in there doing the conditioning classes with whoever wanted to do it, basically, or anybody who had fights coming up. Kane was in there sparring, you know, just like everybody else. You know, and I think that's the team. Nobody there is meant to feel, you know, like special. It's all just a big team. It's like a big, you know, cogs that just fit together and work perfectly. Honestly, I know that it might seem a bit mad, me just saying that. I haven't experienced it for such a, you know, for a brief time, but that was the impression that I got, and I thought, this is something that I have to be involved in. This is something that, you know, that, you know, some people don't need a team, some people don't really need that mentoring by anybody, but the coach there, you know, I'm somebody that does, you know, I'm away from my family sometimes, I get a bit down about it, and maybe I do need a little bit of extra, whatever, attention or whatever, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but, you know, I need that team feeling, in other words, is what I'm saying. Yeah. I need that team feeling, and it's definitely there. It's the best I've ever seen. Everybody's just fantastic, honestly. Well, I mean, you know, even Kane say after the spars, you know, he'd come in and say, hey, man, you're putting too much weight on his front leg, or, you know, you was easy to punch here, or, you know, he didn't just spar and and then after the see you later, we actually took time to say, look, man, when you're coming in, try this or move your head this way, one day you give me half an hour of his time. I'm thinking, this is amazing, that this guy is actually just bothering with me, you know what I mean? It's a good feeling.
Yeah, a real honest team too, Paul. Like, everything's up front in front of the team. They'll say things in front of the team. Everything's out in the open. Nothing behind closed doors. Like Kane, he'll give you some advice to your face there and then. There'll be nothing in the locker rooms with the coaches. Oh, you need to work on this. You need to work on that. You're not doing so great at this. You're not doing so great at that. Everyone tries helping each other. It's a real team environment, from what I can tell, anyway. But let's move on to Mark the Hand of Godbeer. You're facing him this coming Saturday, 13th of June, at BAMMA 21 for the vacant BAMMA heavyweight title. First and foremost, could you tell us if that's for the world title or the Lonsdale title?
Right, it's the world title.
The world title.
It's a world Lonsdale title, isn't it? I think. I know it's a world title.
Yeah,
that's the question.
Yeah, that'll be the world title then. So you've been talking about AKA. Is there a newfound confidence? Well, I won't say newfound confidence because I assume you had confidence in your abilities, but is there an added confidence going into this fight with Mark Godbeer since you've been training at AKA that you probably wouldn't have had?
Yeah, it's done absolute wonders for me. It showed me how tough I am as well. That I can at least stand in front of somebody like Kane and take some bloody hard punches. You know what I mean? And it took, as I say, he took me into deep waters a lot of the time, and a lot of the time, I mean, he's like a machine. He's known for it. He's known worldwide, as the absolute ultimate cardio machine. And he is, and I'm not ashamed to say that come the second round, or even the end of the first, honestly, he's got that much of a pace. That he could have took my head off, he could have beat me up easy, or, when I was absolutely knackered. Do you know what I mean? But me getting through them and him saying, come on, or, even when he's in there with you, he's not trying to end your career or kick you into next week. It's just, so the confidence I got was getting through the grueling sparring, and preparation, is everything. As to the fight game. If you're in there with number one and you're doing 2 rounds with him, 2 5-minute rounds, and being used for his main sparring, and you're scraping through it, it makes you stronger. It does. I think what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You know what I mean? So taking the punishment and the rounds that I've done with Kane, as a positive, I've seen that. I stood in front of him and I've done all right. You know what I mean? And I got through it mentally. So as far as I'm concerned, the fight with Mark Godbeer has already happened 3 times a week in America, facing Kane and and the other guys that I was sparring. So that's where I get my confidence from. That every day when I sparred with Kane was a horrible, gut-wrenching, butterfly encounter, you know what I mean? It was like, shit, I've got to go in there. I'm the next one in to do my 2 rounds. And that got me ready mentally, because towards the end of the 3 weeks, even the coach said to me that you've improved, Paul, you've improved so much, and you can see your fitness, everything, and it did. Because trying to keep up with Kane's fitness, I mean, I'm a good heavyweight in the UK, but Kane's good around to the world on a world level. So, trying to keep up with somebody like that is a big ask for just a UK fighter. You know what I mean? But I did feel myself getting really fit, and the last spar we done, I wasn't so tired at the end. I felt awesome. So from that comes confidence to step in front of Mark Godbeer. As simple as that.
Well, we know with Mark Godbeer, he's had a rough couple of maybe 3 to 4 years with injuries or a severe injury. I think at one point he nearly retired after he got cut from Bellator. I think he did retire briefly, but he's come back now. He come back at BAMMA 19. I actually watched his fight at BAMMA 19. He looked like he had a newfound confidence. He's with his old coach now, and he looked really fired up in his post-fight speech. Are you sort of expecting Mark the Hand of Godbeer to be really fired up in your bout come BAMMA 21?
I'm expecting what? Sorry, you've broken up then.
Are you expecting a real fired up Mark behind the Godbeer?
Do you know? I hope that he is. I hope that he is because I feed off that. I don't know if you've watched my fights, but you know that I'm so calm in my fights. If he wants to be fired up and he wants to dance around me, he wants to throw shots that's not going to land. Each one of them is going to take his toll on him and wear him down. So if he wants to be fired, that's better. I'm fired up, mate, but inside, you know, facing him that night, he could be fired up, and it's good. I want a good fight from him. I want him to turn up, and I want him to be the best he can be. You know what I mean? I want to face a good Mark. I don't want to face somebody that's injured and whatever. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just looking forward to it. Honestly, I'm very fired up for it, very confident. You know, and really, you know, I don't see a win for him. I really don't. But as I've always said to people, you know, the guy punches hard, and with them little gloves on, if he catches me, it's game over. So, you know, I've got to be on my, you know, we both catch each other. So it's going to be a good fight. Whoever witnesses it, you know, he won't go down easy, and I'm not going to go down easy. We're not that type of fighter. We've got pride, you know what I mean? We don't like losing. We don't want to lose. So that's what makes it exciting for him and for me, to be honest, to know that we've got this challenge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
well, I talked about him being fired up in his post-fight interview at BAMMA 19, but during the fight with Thomas Denham, he wasn't really fired up. He was patient. He was counter-striking. Now, I feel like if he counter-strikes against you, that's going to be a bad move. Do you think that you could take advantage of him if he does counter-strike against you?
Well, let's just put it this way. You know, hopefully he'll find that out. Again, you know, Mark's a good guy. I'm not going to do it, but if he tries the same trick with Denham, I mean, you know, I don't know whether he said that he takes great confidence from beating Denham, but we're different fighters. I think Thomas could be one of the best fighters in the UK if he put his mind to it. I really do. I think that, you know, that if he slowed his pace down and concentrated a little bit more, but that's not really for me to say. But it's just my little opinion there. But I think he could be awesome. But me and Thomas are a lot different fighters. I'm not as erratic as he is. I'm going to be very patient. And if Mark, like you say, on the counter fighter, if he thinks he can throw one shot and he's going to hit me, he's going to have to throw 2 or 3 shots because I move my head really well, you see, and I come in really well. So, and I've got an ability to keep relaxed as well. So I'll really stretch my cardio, but I'll make him throw a lot of, you know, if he's fired up, that's good because he'll be firing a lot of shots at me, and while I'll just be waiting patiently, and then I'll take my time, you know, like I always do. You know, it's no secret the way I fight. I'm never going to be the scrappy big heavyweight that just comes out throwing bombs, you know, aimlessly throwing bombs, and that. I'm very accurate, and that space between him and me will be made up so quick you won't even see it coming. I promise you, you won't. You know, well, that's what it's like in the gym, but it's where I've just got to do it when I'm out there. You know what I mean? So he's got to be fired up. He's got to be quick because otherwise I'm going to get in on him.
Well, Mark does have a big size and reach advantage over you. I'm assuming that he would use the jab, a lot of straight punches for maybe defense and offense against you. Do you still feel like you can land if he does pump that jab out there to keep you at distance? Do you feel like you can find your way in, bob and weave, and maybe land some overhands on him?
I'll make that distance look nothing, I promise you. Like, I'm that confident in how quick I can make the distance up. And even if I can't, I will just keep pressuring him. And unless he's throwing 2 or 3 shots, you know, he's not gonna hit me with a single left hook like he throws out, or you know. And also as well, I'm really good at reading, you know, the people's bodies, because he loads up on a lot of his shots. I mean, he probably won't know I've said that. He probably go, I'm gonna do something different now. But he's always been the same. He's always been the same in his fight. So, you know, as a fighter, we just look for different clues that we could think, we could take advantage there, or I can grab a leg there. But in reality, we do not know until we're in there and how we feel. You know, I might wife within 20 seconds gone, knocked out. He might do it to me. or it might be an easier fight for him than he thought, or it might be. We just don't know. We just don't know until we're in there. So when people make bold claims and this and that, about making, I'm going to do this, you just never know. I mean, he could be deceivingly hard to make up that distance. I might get in there and think, shit, this is not working now. I thought that it was going to be a lot easier to get in. So I'm very aware of that. So there is a game plan. I mean, my wrestling is brilliant. It's really good for the UK standards anyway. So I'm really good at taking tall people down and wearing them down. Using my weight against them and putting my weight on and making him carry me, which I have got it down to an art. Anybody who's trained with me knows I can do it. Like pretty much, I know I can. So I just know that if I do when I'm out there and I do make up that space, if my punching's not working, I can use my wrestling. I can always grind the wins, you know what I mean, and beat him up in close. So I'm not just going in there just thinking that I'm going to make up that space and that's going to work 100%. I've got other backup plans in my head that will all, like I did with Thomas when I fought Big Thomas. I thought, I don't want to get hit by him, and then I got in, and that was it. Once I was in. I didn't let him breathe. But I can pretty much set that pace. For 3 rounds if I have to. Just absolutely just keep throwing shots at them and wearing them down. So, whatever happens on the night, I've got an answer to, hopefully. Again, it's all hope. That's all we can do when we get in there, that my shit works against his shit, and that's the bottom line.
Now, I noticed that you both take up the orthodox stance in your boxing, both you and Mark the Hand of Godbeer. Obviously, we know that opens up the hooks, the overhands. Now, I've got you down as the more power puncher, the better boxer in the pocket. Do you sort of see Mark the Hand of Godbeer changing his stance to southpaw just to avoid these looping strikes from you, and also playing to his strength, because we talked about the reach advantage. Now, if he goes southpaw against your orthodox, that only opens up the straight punches, and with his reach, that could potentially do a lot of damage to you and not a lot of damage to him. Do you possibly see him switching his stances to southpaw? And if he does, is that something you're prepared for?
I'm prepared for everything, but what I will say is, if Mark tries to do what I've seen him do to the people that he's fought, like Thomas Denham and all them, he hasn't got a chance. I'll be honest. I'll be absolutely 100% honest. If he throws one shot and all that business, he hasn't got a chance, because I'm going to get him so quick. But then, when I say that he hasn't got a chance, in my head, that's what I think that, so if he does try something different, or he does switch to southpaw, then brilliant, I'll take his front leg and wrestle him down. This is what I think when I'm in there. I just pick my techniques off the shelf. It just comes because I'm so relaxed.
Well, that is the downfall too, because if he switches to southpaw, that lead leg's open, and all you have to do is get on the side of it and ram your shoulder into it, and he's going down, and there's no way of stopping it. He can't even circle off from it. Well,
once I get a leg, which you'll find out, once I get a leg, everybody, he will go down. I've practiced that much over the last 2 or 3 years. My timing's so good with my punching to actually getting in on someone. It will be a hard night for him, but then, like I say, he's strong. He's so strong, and he's always got his clinch. He's always got his big knees. I'm not going to be a big knee. It's no secret. I'm going to be like a lumper compared to him. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to try and knee his shins. You know what I mean? There's nothing there for me to knee on him. The height difference is so great. So I'm not going to, But what I do, I believe that it'll work. It's going to work against it. It's going to work against him, and he'll be shocked. Everybody is, and I think when he feels my power as well, I promise he's not going to be. He's going to respect my power. There's no doubt about it. Everybody does like sparring and anything like that. Pad holders. They always. I know how to throw a punch, so, and I can do it there because I'm relaxed, and that's the bar I keep it, and hopefully on the night I can just do what I do, and it just comes off. You know what I mean? And that's all I can hope for. That it comes off.
Well, let's talk about Jeff Monson quickly. Got you down as having a rematch with Jeff Monson in roughly 3 to 4 weeks' time. Obviously, this is after your fight with Mark the Hand of Godbeer in 3 days' time. Do you still plan on facing Jeff the Stormman Monson in 4 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time?
Well, obviously the promoter knows that that anything can happen. Mark can bust me up, or I can bust a leg, or touch wood. It obviously doesn't happen. But if I just come away with a bloody nose and a black eye, then I'm fighting Jeff Monson, or anything bad. Obviously, I won't be able to get in with him. But yeah, I'm equally looking forward to that. I'm not even going to be celebrating. If I beat Mark, I'm not even going to be celebrating on the night. I won't be drinking, or I'll keep everything good, and ready. I'm ready for the Jeff fight. Everything will be my focus on that then.
Obviously, you're taking both fights serious, but which fight has more importance personally to you, Paul? Obviously, Jeff Monson's beat you before. Would you rather have the BAMMA title or avenge your loss to Jeff the Snowman Monson?
Right, at the start, it was, I would have said Jeff Monson. I would have said, I don't really care about fighting on any particular promotion, really. I thought that fighting a person was more. But BAMMA have really upped their game. I wasn't, because I was a UC MMA lad, and BAMMA and UC MMA are sort of, you can't talk to BAMMA about them, you can't talk to UC MMA about BAMMA. It's, a very touchy subject. I can't even mention them in interviews, BAMMA, UC MMA and stuff, like BAMMA interviews and that, which I find a bit whatever, but at the same time, I don't want to promote other people's promotions, but yeah, so I didn't really have any plans on fighting on BAMMA, to be honest, but BAMMA have really upped their game, man. They're like on Sport TV, they're signing some big heavyweights. It's become a very attractive deal for a heavyweight to fight on there, so they changed it round from, Jeff Monson was everything, the only fight that I was interested in, to actually the BAMMA fight is going to be doing more for my career than the Jeff fight. It is, or I believe anyway, because I'll have the UC MMA heavyweight title and the BAMMA title, and that's a good, obviously a very good accomplishment, and also as well, it's on such a big stage that the UFC will be watching and will be looking. There's no doubt about it. So if you've got the UC MMA title, which is well known over there, I'll just add in America, the UC MMA show, because I think it aired over there. Everybody remembers Cage Rage and stuff like that. If I've got the two big titles, then it definitely opens doors for me. Maybe to get on the UFC. The UFC might take a punt on me, and I think, right, he's doing all right. Let's get him over and let's try him out.
You mentioned that the relationship between UCMA and BAMMA, it's a little bit strained. You are the UCMA heavyweight champion, so if you do win the BAMMA title, have they said to you, look, you can't defend your UCMA title anymore?
Well, I'm actually, I don't think BAMMA have announced it. I'm actually signed to them for 3 fights.
Okay. Exclusive then?
Exclusive, yeah, with obviously a super clause, because obviously, I've got to do things to suit my career as well. If I was a 21-year-old man, then the BAMMA would, the BAMMA contract, I would have signed for 5 fights and things like that. But
have you spoke to Dave O'Donnell about vacating the title then, the UCMA heavyweight title?
I haven't to be honest, but I think Dave's put an interim title. Look, I mean, I still want to be their title holder, and if Dave actually turns around and says to me, look, you're going to have to vacate the belt, then I totally understand, but I can get the BAMMA 3 fights straight away, and then hopefully, I'll have, I personally think, I'm hoping that, I can get in the UFC. That's what I really want. I haven't said that too many times, but that's what I really want. That's what, that'll be like the icing on the cake, really, for me to get in there, and I'm 35, and it's got to happen quick, you know what I mean? I want it to, because I don't want to be all broken up and too old to even train, but at the minute, I'm a freak. I'm a bit of a freak. Well, it's not that I'm a bit of a freak. It's just that I only started when I was 28 doing this stuff. My body's still fresh. it's not broken up. I haven't got achy joints or, you know, and you know, my body, like, I've got absolutely no injuries. I feel amazing, like, you know what I mean? So how long I can go on for, who knows? You know, so I'm hoping that the UFC will you know, once I get the BAMMA title, maybe defend it once, then the UFC then will say, come over, so.
Well, it is mainly about the wins outside the UFC that gets you into the UFC, but do you think you being with AKA now and obviously training with their heavyweight champion in Cain Velasquez, do you think that's a big boost and a big push to getting you to the UFC? Do you think that'll help out a little bit more as well?
Yeah, no, it'll definitely help, obviously, because, you know, the coach there,
Javier.
you know, he's got links to, yeah, I mean, he's brilliant, honestly, real good guy he is, and obviously he's going to have some influence, you know, in getting people into the UFC or Bellator, you know what I mean, so, but if not, you know, I'll do it on my own merit, hopefully, you know, with the win over Mark, and, you know, I've got a really good record, you know, there isn't many heavyweights that have got the win that I've got, and not been out the first right, you know, pretty much TKO'd and knocked everybody out. So, you know, it's a pretty good record. I know that, you know, the standard isn't as good here as around the world, but that's why I went to AKA, so I can, you know, so I'm not disillusioning myself. Do you know what I mean? I know that if I do get a UFC contract, I'm in the right place. AKA is the right place for me to get the well-rounded skills that I need on that level. You know what I mean? So, if anything, really, it's just been an insight of what my life could be and where I need to be, you know, when I do actually sign, which will hopefully happen. So.
Well, Paul, one last thing before we leave. Is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners or your fans? Also, sponsors, mentions, thanks.
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't aware you was going to ask me about my sponsors. There's that many that I don't want to name them all now because if I leave one out, it's just going to be unfair. So I just want to say, as a whole, thank you to my sponsors. All of you mean the world of me for helping me achieve this. Without you guys, it truly is no career for me. You know, because you help me not work and keep me going, and also, you know, the support that I get, I'm always blown away by. You know, on the social media and stuff. It's, you know, people love what I do and follow me, and you know, it's brilliant. I just want to thank everybody for their continued support, and then just my partner Katie, who puts up with me doing this and supports me. You know, and is there every step of the way with me, which I love her to death for. So just thank you, everybody, and thanks for the interview, mate. It's been good.
It's my pleasure, Paul. Okay, from the Make It Fighting Talk Show, as always, guys, thank you for watching.